Hello, everyone. So sorry it's taken me so long to get started on this. I am going to start out today with Oregon Duck soccer versus the University of Utah Utes. Yes, we did the Mountain States. We were lucky enough to be able to do that this year. And it took a toll on me, and then I promptly came back to work. I should say work, because it's not really a job, but it is a job, kind of. Anyways, there was a lot that I need to get to, which is kind of that we thought we were recording the game, but it didn't actually record on my laptop while we were watching the game. And then we discovered we couldn't stream the game and for Colorado. And yeah, so it was just kind of, yeah, that's what happened. But that did not deny the immense pleasure of finally watching the Lady Ducks up close. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. But before I get into that, I have to address the elephant in the room. And one is that the Lady Ducks apparently were required to cover their tattoos. If someone would comment and let me know what happened regarding that, I am extremely discreet. You can reach me through Instagram or Twitter on a DM, and I will not mention how I got this information. I would like to know more, but it's very, very obvious. And since it is a public institution and not BYU, I would like to know what is going on there. Secondly, they appear to be the only Pac-12 school that does not take a minute for Black Lives Matter. Now, why does that matter? Go back and look at my BYU versus Duke volleyball videos if you have a chance, and you'll see why that matters. And the fact that they did not acknowledge that this was going on and that they denied that it could have even happened to this Black volleyball player that was playing at their school. And so I had to address those two first. And so excuse me, Oregon Duck soccer players. I noticed those right away, and I was not okay with those. And I'm not sure if you ladies were, but it's to me, it's not okay. We're not a third world country, even though sometimes it feels like it. But we're not. So one of the reasons I went there, I have a daughter who moved out there because her boyfriend was playing football for the University of Utah, and he is half Black and half Filipino. And my youngest daughter, we took her to the soccer game with us, and had a wonderful time, and now wants to be a goalie just like Leah Freeman. And it's really, really cute, considering when I had her in soccer when she was younger, she was really, really good, but she got tired because she was so good they kept her in the game all the time. So I don't see her join the sport again. Alas, let's get back to the game. Because I have a compilation, although I got tired, of bad calls by the ref, which only proved to me how biased Salt Lake City is. It is one of the reasons that I did not want my daughter moving there. She had difficulty at 2 jobs that she was working at because we're not Mormon. Yes, I brought religion into this, but we're not. It's just a fact. So, Damien has done well in his field. It's possible maybe he converted, except that he's Black, and the church doesn't really like Black people, which is the other reason that I would prefer that they do not live in Salt Lake City. But as a mother of semi-grown daughter and soon-to-be son-in-law, I don't get a vote in this. I saw a ref that did a bare minimum of calls for Oregon, hardly a foul for Oregon, and tried his darndest to make sure that the play went the other way, including what I saw as a fairly clean slide tackle to give them a penalty kick in the hopes of evening the score. Now, Oregon's coming from sea level. I know, I grew up there. I grew up in Eugene. Yeah, everyone knows that by now. And we lived in Germany for many, many years before we moved to Colorado Springs, which is like 6,500 feet above sea level. And I believe Salt Lake City is like about 5,300 feet above sea level. I'll get that and we'll put that in Premiere. Actually, I will, because I've learned how to do it. Yay, Kim! And so the women were doing really well running, which was great because it's hard going from a low altitude to a high altitude. It will kick your butt. And they were working their hardest. You could see that. But Utah didn't have anything on the Ducks. The Ducks are a better team than they're actually showing themselves to be. What I have seen, and I even hesitate to say this, because as I told Leah Freeman's mom, because I got to meet some of the coolest people ever, I just went around and started introducing myself to everyone at the games. And everyone now thinks I'm probably insane, which wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe I am just a little bit, I'm just a little bit of a Oregon soccer fanatic, and a soccer fanatic. The women know when they've done something that they probably should have done. I mean, I knew if I did something that I should have done. So why am I bringing it up, right? I mean, why should I bring it up? Because you already know that. And you're going through the tapes, and your coach, who I got to meet, by the way, and that was totally awesome because he's totally awesome, um, is pointing it out to you as well. So why do you need literally some armchair, I don't want to say quarterback, some armchair coach telling you what you did or what you should have done? That doesn't make any sense. What I'm hoping to do is be able to commentate to others who didn't necessarily get to see the game, or the parents who weren't able to see all the angles, and to the girls that maybe did catch something in somewhere along the way. And you can tell. I mean, what else is there to say about Leah Freeman? There isn't anything left to say about Leah Freeman. She always leaves me speechless. I have some bits and bobs on Chai Cortez. She's going to score this year. If she doesn't leave in the comments something you would like to see me do that's either embarrassing or something disgusting you would like me to eat, or, something ridiculous, and I will do it. And I will tell you why I think she's going to score. Because I scored. As I told you, I played like a sweeper. Instead of 4, we had 3 and 1. And I'm talking about my glory days again, and as a freshman in college, I found myself with the ball about right before midfield. And I was literally in the center of the field, and the other team's gawking, like, how did she get the ball? My team's gawking, like, how did she get the ball? And then they start yelling at me to dribble the ball and kick it in the goal. So I did. It wasn't somewhere I expected to be, but that's completely different than Chai. Chai legitimately is someone that can score and keep people from scoring. She has or is able to set herself up to score and set herself up in a position to be able to score. It's just a matter of time before she does. And if you are the NWSL or the USL and you can't see this, you need new recruiters. That's all I'm going to say. It's just it. And if you were smart, if your recruiters are smart, you take Zoe and Chai together because they make an awesome team. And I know how difficult that is, but you can finagle. We've all watched Draft Day. You can get picks together. I know there aren't that many teams. Yeah, and I'm working on it. I'm going to do a podcast on that too. So maybe we can get some people involved. But they work really well together, and you might be able to fit them in different places, but I think you'd be missing out on a really good opportunity on a twofer. Um, yeah, it, it's it's just one of those rare opportunities that you would have. Now, I had also had the opportunity to meet Lexi Romero. And for some reason, I thought Cass Elmore was the one that scored the goal at the University of Utah, but it wasn't. It was Lexi Romero. So I apologize, Lexi, for telling you that you owed me a goal. You did it because the goal was awarded to you. So you don't. As if you even cared anyways, but you don't. So, Cass, you owe me a goal. Let's just roll with it that way, okay? It's like, you owe me a goal. You owe me a goal. No, you owe me a goal. Everyone owes me a goal. There we go. Yes. Y'all owe me a goal. Why not? And Zoe Hasenauer is going to be the new reigning queen of the number of games started or played. I believe it started. You would think I would get my facts straight before I came on here and rambled. Yes, because this is Kim, Ramblings with Kim, but that's in my intro as well. And I introduced myself to a few parents as that. And they understood because I was rambling to them too. And back to the University of Utah game. The refs in the Pac-12, and I don't understand it. I don't. And I would like to say that I'm biased, but I truly don't believe that I am. And the reason that I don't believe that I am is because I've never been that kind of a person. You know how when maybe some people don't, but let's say you've had a child and you're really excited and you're showing everybody the baby pictures, and everyone's going to hate me because I'm going to tell the story. And you're like, oh, look, isn't my baby so cute? Okay. Well, my son was not a cute baby. Now he's really, really handsome now. I mean, he grew out of that by the time he was about 2. But he wasn't a cute baby. And I was the first to say that. And it makes me a horrible mom. I get that. But I was honest. I'm honest. Yeah, that's my biggest fault, is that I'm honest to a fault. So I don't feel that I'm being biased, although we all have our biases. I have a PhD in psychology. Forgive me. I don't feel I feel like I can be the least biased of as much as an individual can be. So I look at this game and I'm watching, particularly the first clip where it should have been a yellow card, not just a foul, but a friggin' yellow card. And the ref is like, yeah, foul, okay. Um, and I'm watching those and those slide tackles. I mean, I could have pulled out probably 30 minutes of fouls that Utah committed on Oregon or that were equivocal to what the ref thought were fouls because of what he was calling fouls on Oregon for against Utah. But I figured y'all probably didn't want to watch 30 minutes of fouls that were the same. So hopefully you're just going to trust that my viewpoint. I mean, because I'm just a lady in a black chair that makes videos and asks people to get off buses so I can give them a hug because I won't get to see them again until they play in the pros. Thank you very much, Chai. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. So at the game, even though the ref tried his hardest by giving Utah a PK on what I thought was a pretty clean slide tackle, and even if it wasn't, it was just as clean as 30 or 40 that Utah had tried. Just to try and even the score. It's not just shame on University of Utah. It's a shame on the Pac-12. It's a shame on the NCAA. It is a shame on Title IX. It is a shame on whoever thought that somewhere along the way, Oregon had some kind of reputation that they should be treated a little differently than the rest of the teams. Because I have been watching this go on for years and years. And it's not right. It's almost like they take the Oregon football fans, which granted, I know Oregon football fans are really obnoxious and not nice. I mean, I've had people, if I wear my Oregon, Ducks around town, and they'll pull me aside and they're like, Oregon Duck fans are horrible. And I'm like, football? And they're like, yeah, Oregon football fans are they're mean. And I'm like, yeah, they can get pretty bad, but that doesn't have anything to do with soccer. And so I don't know if they equate the two and they just haven't figured that out. And I would like, or I am requesting as much as I can, that the NCAA take a look at the refs and every single Oregon game and watch every single second of footage and see what you find and pull out the biases or biases or whatever bias you may see, because you're going to find it. And if you can't, then you're lying. Because I'm actually a data analyst, and there is no way statistically that Oregon could be doing or racking up what they are accumulating every single time against every other team. But the other teams aren't doing that against each other. There is literally no way statistically that this could happen. So explain to me, a data analyst, how that can happen statistically. And right after you're done doing that, explain to me how statistically Babe Ruth was able to achieve his home run record. And once you can do the two of those, because only a true data analyst knows about Babe Ruth's home run record, we can have a conversation. Until then, Pac-12 and NCAA, you need to do better. You need to do better by these Oregon women, because they're working hard. Now, in this game against Utah, I do have a couple of clips of Chai. Like I said, she's going to score. She is working on it. Her footwork is amazing. They have her set up for a different type of corner kick because of the different women that are playing this year. However, it only goes to show that she can do or adjust her corner kick depending on what needs to be adjusted. Who's playing, how they play, and how to get it in there. I still believe it would be more effective, and I know that Anjane Respass had gotten hurt in the USC game, so she wasn't in there. But if she had Anjane Respass and Zoe Hasenauer, and you put them in where they would normally be, right in front of the goalie, and she kicks it right in there and they head it in, those are the most effective, because she can basically kick a goal from the corner. And the NWSL and the USL, you need to take a look at those. You'll see more of those last year than you will this year. So, yeah, find that footage. I keep trying to convince people that I'm the press. I can get access to more and more things. But alas, my podcast doesn't count as press. Maybe if I covered more than Oregon soccer and I covered other teams. However, I just don't have the time of my day. I wish I did. because there are so many interesting uh, other things that are going on. Uh, so, the only other interesting thing that I would say that happened at the University of Utah was Leah Freeman pulled a yellow card for absolutely no reason whatsoever, showing once again that the ref had absolutely no idea what he was doing. That he really didn't understand soccer. That he might have been like a ref at the high school level. But when you allow for substitutions and then you don't blow your whistle to say that the game's back on, and so the goalkeeper's waiting for you and you give her a yellow card for delaying the game, yeah, that's no, that's wrong. But on the more hilarious side, on my yellow card competition, that's not really a yellow card competition, but it could be, but it's really not. But you know how it goes. I'm going to be doing a short on it. I have a new setup so I can do shorts because who wouldn't want to see more of me? She has one red card and one yellow card. One red card, yes, equals two yellow cards, which means she has three yellow cards. She's tied with, I can't remember who she's tied with. I'm so sorry. It was someone so surprising as well that I was like, oh my gosh, how? How did this happen? For some reason, I thought Oregon had so many yellow cards, but they didn't have as many as that I thought they did. So yes, the goalie could be the one that ends up winning the yellow card competition. Which, please tell me I'm not the only one that thinks this is hilarious. But what I will tell you, I'll give you a sneak peek into it. If for some reason we can't get an extra ticket, we have an alternative prize for whoever gets the most yellow cards. And again, you're free to turn it down. But it would be very, very, very funny. So for now, unfortunately, I'm going to have probably 5 to 10 minutes of footage that's going to be in here because they talk about Title IX and they have a little a composite of Leah's saves as well. And actually, one save that proves that Hofstra was right. Leapin' Leah Freeman. Yes, she shows why she is one of the top goalies in the country. And I'm sorry, Leah's younger sisters. I know you don't like to hear that, but that was one heck of a leap. So for now, this is Kim. And I'm going to try and get this together so I can get Colorado's together, which is going to be much shorter because we didn't get to record the footage. I know. I'm a really bad podcast host, but I'm getting better. So thank you, Oregon, for making my day. And you girls, I'll see you this evening when I make my next podcast. Bye.
They had 5 shots on goal. They had some looks. They were testing the junior keeper, Leah Freeman, as she was able to deflect that one up and over. Otherwise, that one would have been a score. And then another attempt with the lefty boot. Ground getting involved and Freeman smothering that one. It was Vergara with the cross, couple of miscues, and then it was O'Kane with a look, but too much underneath it. The chances they had. Kafusi, the leading scorer for the Utes on the season. She was able to turn the defense, not giving her a great angle, but Leah Freeman able to dive and save that one. And then just the dribbler, Freeman, right there.
A lot of people look at Title IX as almost a charity thing, right? Like, oh, we have to put these women's games on TV, or we have to hire more women, and I just don't see it that way. And women deserve to have the same kinds of opportunities that men do. I also think that women deserve to have the same investment to be able to meet their potential. And that's the piece where I think the mindset hasn't shifted yet. When you look at the growth in viewership, you look at additional fans in the stands and the level of interest and engagement in women's sports, we have to grow it and we have to invest in it. That's not a charity or a gimme. That's an investment in a product that people want to see and in an opportunity for young women who want to compete.